a democracy should be, if we fight for it. Yes, it is now very flexible and resilient in Nigeria, be assured. Shake off the military era syndrome. Shake that off. You may have all other news from sections of Africa, but for Nigeria, democracy is there, is here, and we are partners. Nigeria voted for me for reforms.
Nigeria is open to more investments as democracy now has a proper place in the country. That is the message of President Bola Tinubu assuring investors at the 10th German-Nigerian Business Forum. Thanks for joining us on the program. You can now join the conversation on X, formerly Twitter, using the hashtag Beyond100Days. And remember to tag at TVC News NG. We are staying with our coverage of President Bola Tinubu's visit to Germany, where he attended the G20 Compact with Africa Summit on Monday and the 10th German-Nigerian Business Forum. President Tinubu stated that Nigeria seeks a relationship to remove all hurdles to progress and ensure that investors have a conducive environment for operations. Also at the event, Nigeria signed some memoranda of understanding with some German businesses as the Tinubu administration works to put Nigeria on the global landscape. We have details in this report. Correspondent Femi Akonde is standing by. He is joining us from Berlin in Germany. Femi, President Tinubu has assured investors in Germany that the country is open to more investment. And this actually seems to be a good development. Walk us through this and the prospects for Nigerians.
Yes, indeed, Ambassador. Hello and good evening. President Bola Tinubu so far has been the Chief Marketing Officer of Nigeria. He has been at the forefront trying to promote investment and business opportunities in Nigeria, talking to foreign investors to bring in their capital, bringing their funds to Nigeria, assuring them that this time around, they will be able to repatriate their profit. They will get their return on investments. Also letting them know that, you know, what they have had, the narrative out there about Nigeria, not safe to do business, about the security situation in Nigeria, and about the hold of military dictatorship and all of that, the years of military dictatorship and how it has affected Nigeria's growth and development, saying that all of these are now behind us. He also emphasized particularly that, you know, there have been news lately of a military incursion into the democratic space in some countries in West Africa. We've seen that of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso. He says for Nigeria, democracy has come to stay because a lot of businesses and investments would love to come and invest in a democratic country where there is rule of law. So he says Nigeria's case is different. And also contrary to some tribal advisories, you know, issued by most of these countries and their embassies in Nigeria, warning foreigners not to come to certain parts of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, as the Commander-in-Chief, has come to assure these investors that all hurdles in the path of their investment will be eliminated. He says it's only if he's not aware of it, but as long as he's aware of any hurdle that stands in their way to getting their return on investment, that he will ensure it is totally eliminated. And, you know, signing of that memorandum of understanding between Nigeria, some Nigerian businesses and German businesses to the tune of $500 million. It's really a big deal, you know. Nigeria is Germany's second largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa, and Germany, as the biggest economy in Europe, is also seeking to grow their investment in Nigeria and also improve bilateral trade between Nigeria and Germany. And President Bola Tinubu is saying that indeed Nigeria is open for business and they should consider Nigeria as their next investment destination.
Absolutely. And what are you hearing from the investors already about these assurances they have received from Nigeria's Chief Marketing Officer, the President?
Well, all of them are enthusiastic, you know, looking at what they said, you know, when speaking with President Bola Tinubu, when they had that opportunity to also speak, to also bear their mind. They are enthusiastic. They look forward to coming to Nigeria to match our words with action, getting that assurance from no one less than President Bola Tinubu. They are already talking about signing more memorandum of understanding. We just saw 2 signed today. There are also some indications that in the coming days, more will be signed. You recall that when the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz came to Nigeria, some memorandum of understanding was also signed at that time. 2 more signed today, and it looks like more will be signed in the near future. And this also goes to show how robust the relationship between Nigeria and Germany is, and the prospects it holds for Nigeria. And what Germany, and especially the Chancellor, is saying is that this time it is not about aid for development, for financing aid and loans and all of that. But what they are putting aside is investment that will be mutually beneficial for both countries. For Nigeria, it will be in terms of jobs, helping that's creating jobs for the massive youth population, helping the country reach its climate action goals, helping the country achieve its energy transition plan, and also in terms of security and agriculture and other critical aspects of the economy. Ambassador.
Yes, Femi, and we look forward to having all of those investments in to boost the economy of the country. Femi Akonde, State House correspondent, thank you very much for talking to us. The presidency has accused the People's Democratic Party and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of making wild and libelous allegations against President Bola Tinubu. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Onanuga, accused the PDP and Mr. Atiku of raising false alarm and allegedly compromising the judiciary. The presidency stated that the PDP and Mr. Atiku Abubakar are overtly desperate to hang their woes in the court on President Tinubu and the judiciary, an important arm of government in Nigeria. According to Mr. Onanuga, President Tinubu is not planning to impose a one-party state, as Mr. Atiku has alleged, and his party and spokesman have now parroted. He said President Tinubu's record as a Democrat par excellence and a strong advocate of the rule of law has been globally acknowledged. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Onanuga, joins me now on the program. With the recent judgment in Plateau, Kano, and Zamfara nullifying the victory of these governors, are you surprised really that the PDP is crying foul?
Well, to our own mind, we think the PDP is just trying to blame, finding a scapegoat to blame for its own problems. The party deserves what it got in Zamfara State, in Plateau State, and some other places where it has suffered some setbacks. It's surprising that the party is not ready to examine itself, to find what it did wrong, to deserve all those legal setbacks, and just looking for a way to pass on the blame to our party and our president, and also, of course, the judiciary. Let the PDP search its soul. Let the former President VP Abubakar Atiku search his soul. You find that the blame does not belong to the president, does not belong to the judiciary. The party has itself to blame, the PDP.
Bobby Onanuga, if you look at it as we wait for the Supreme Court to decide on these cases, the political map is already looking worrisome for some political analysts who feel that Nigerians actually stand the risk of a one-party state. Should that worry you?
Well, I don't see that kind of danger in the horizon. If you also follow what has happened, our party lost Adamawa State, Atiku's own state. Our candidate there went to court. The tribunal said our case was not meritorious and gave it to Atiku's party. We dragged the Buhari state governor to court. We lost it. So there was no problem. The problem is that anytime the PDP loses a case, they always say the judiciary is not doing well, or the judiciary has been compromised. And there's no proof for all this. The same party, just some few days ago, I think on November 9 or so, one of their party members won the Abia Central Senatorial election by affirmation by the appeal court. the party celebrated it. At that point in time, the PDP will say, oh, judiciary is the best. Oh, judiciary has upheld the rule of law. But any time a case is ruled against them, oh, the party will not say the judiciary is very bad. President Tinubu has compromised the judiciary. It's all red herring. All these are misleading statements that the party keeps making, and they are not true at all.
Right, but Mr. Onanuga, if you think back to when the APC was actually in opposition, the party was commended by Nigerians for being a strong opposition, even critiquing the policies and actions of government. What kind of opposition do you really expect from the PDP at this time, considering that you think they are already crying foul over these cases?
No, first of all, we expect the PDP and the other members of the opposition, the Labour Party, the NMPP, to be a responsible opposition. We don't want an opposition that will keep digging up misleading information, rumors, innuendos. They should do their research before coming to the public arena. They should just wake up and start blaming everybody for the problem they created themselves. We don't think that's a very responsible opposition. Don't forget that Mr. Abubakar has been saying since the last election, he's saying all manners of things, accusing President Tinubu of all kinds of allegations that are not true, not based on facts, that are just things that he dredges up and he tries to mudsling the president. There's no basis for all these things that he has done. And even by his last statement, written by his media advisor, he was even trying to find some holes in President Tinubu's credential as a Democrat. And we keep asking, who is a better Democrat? Is it Atiku Abubakar that joined Abacha under the party arrangement, whereby all the 5 parties that Abacha founded were all supporting Abacha? And Atiku at that time even contested the governor of Adamawa State. Is it, when you look at what Tinubu did, he campaigned for democracy after the annulment of June 12 election. His house was bombed by the military, the agents of the military. He had to go into exile for about 5 years, where he was able to gather resources, galvanize people to oppose military rule. And today, we're enjoying the efforts that he and other people of like minds put into this fight for democracy. So there's no question, as far as we're concerned, no doubt at all, that President Tinubu is a Democrat. He's not a person who just want to impose a one-party state on our country. I think he wants opposition. The APC wants opposition. The PDP and the other parties should come together to give APC a viral opposition and not just stop blaming President Tinubu or the judiciary for whatever problems they are facing now.
But Mr. Onanuga, you will agree that the president actually enjoys a good relationship with governors, even from opposition parties. And we've had some of them declare either directly or indirectly their support for him and for his administration, although they are in opposition political parties. Perhaps that's the reason some people are worried that it does appear it's looking like it's just the APC all the way.
No, that's not true. That's a wrong perception of what is going on. What the opposition governors have seen is that the president is playing the role of a father to all, irrespective of the party you belong to. You know, the last time it was Governor Diri that came to visit him in Abuja, and it just coincided with the time that the Supreme Court was giving judgment in the president's favor. But you see, either Governor Bala Mohammed or other members of, I remember I was in Akwa Ibom last week, Governor Eno also saying the same thing, that the president has shown that he's a father of all. It's not just an APC president now, he's the president of all governors, president of all people of Nigeria. So that's the way he is. He has moved beyond party politics. He now sees himself as the father of all the 200 million people that we have in this country.
The presidential candidate now of the Labour Party in the last presidential elections, Peter Obi, recently mentioned that he is not desperate to be president. Rather, he's desperate to have a good Nigeria, a Nigeria that is working. How do you react to his declaration?
Well, that's the vision of the president himself, or President Tinubu. He's planning to bequeath to Nigeria a country that is very robust economically, a country that can meet the yearnings of his people, especially the youthful population. We have about 60% of our people today belong to the youth, and he's trying to do that to give them confidence, to make them patriotic, to love this country. And you can see the effort he's making globally. He was in India, he was in Saudi Arabia, he was in Doha. He's been to a lot of countries trying to sell Nigeria to investors. The president has a vision to bequeath to Nigeria by the time he finishes his first term in 2027, a country with a GDP of not less than $1 trillion. And he knows that this is a big ambition, but it's achievable. And that's why he's been on the road trying to get investors to come and invest in Nigeria, assuring them that the country is safe for their investment, assuring them that there will be no problem in repatriating their funds once they make profits, and so on and so forth. And of course, everybody else has seen what he's doing. He's become the marketer-in-chief of this country, not just our commander-in-chief, the marketer-in-chief. And he's doing it so well everywhere he goes, trying to give confidence to investors to bring in their money. And Nigeria needs it. And that's, I said, that's what he's trying to do. What Obi is saying is not his original idea. That is the mission and vision of our president.
Well, I'd like to get your thoughts on another matter. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has made a call for developing a pro-Africa democracy. How do you react to that?
Well, I think the suggestion is coming very late. I remember in 1979, Obasanjo, when he was the military commander, set up the Constitution Drafting Committee and the Constituent Assembly. The submission was that Nigeria should have a presidential democracy. This is what we have been doing. We did this in 1993, and we have been on it since 1999, presidential democracy. Obasanjo had the time. At the time he was president of Nigeria, between 1999 and 2007, to ask the National Assembly to change our constitution. And there were various efforts when he was there to amend the constitution. He cannot just now, after he had led office, how many years? 16 years after, now suddenly getting wiser. Oh, something is wrong with the presidential system of government, and so on and so forth. Then saying you should have what you call Afro democracy or something. Look, there's today in the world. You don't try to reinvent the wheel. When a system, we have various systems of governance, and Nigeria has chosen a presidential system. Whatever problems we have.
Onanuga is Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy. He has been speaking to developments in the political space, the allegation by the People's Democratic Party and its candidates in the presidential election, Atiku Abubakar, that the APC is working to turn Nigeria to a one-party state. Yes, Mr. Onanuga, you may kindly continue, land on your thoughts there.
Come again, please.
Yes, I was telling you to land on your thoughts, the statement you were making about that call by former President Obasanjo for a pro-democracy, a pro-Africa democracy.
Yeah, I was saying that it's needless at this time. Nigeria is already practicing presidential democracy. If you want to change it, you need to amend the entire constitution. And that's not be an easy task. This country our legislators can look at the constitution again and see where we can make amends. The problem we have now today is that the presidential system is very, very expensive. Expensive for the candidates who vie for election, expensive for the country to run. All these things can be amended. You can amend, you can look at what you are doing wrong, and so not entirely throwing it overboard. You can reform it. You can make it better for Nigeria.
So what really would you say the Bola Tinubu administration is doing to strengthen democracy and the rule of law?
He's doing a lot. He's a lot. This is a president who has no interest in interfering in what the judiciary does. People forget that we have 3 arms of government, and they are independent of each other, or of one another. The judiciary is independent. The president cannot be teleguiding what the judiciary is doing. It's not doing it. And what he's concerned with is how to make the judiciary as an institution to be very, very strong. And I see last week, the Attorney General told the world that the president has told the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission to look into the remuneration and allowances that the members of the judiciary take on a monthly basis. I think the RMAFC came out with a recommendation of about 7 million naira per year for the Chief Justice of Nigeria, for example. The president feels that is not enough, that the thing has to be reviewed further. Because the president is concerned that if you want the judges to perform very well, you need to make them very comfortable. You need to provide for their basic needs. As of now in Nigeria, that is not the case. Our Chief Justice, if you look at the salary, even across the West African region, when you compare us, for example, with South Africa, the total package of this Chief Justice of Nigeria is about less than $9,000 a year, with all the allowances put together. Whereas his counterpart in South Africa, the Chief Justice of South Africa, is earning close to about $160,000 a year. The lowest court judge in South Africa is earning about $100,000 a year. And when you just put that on what our own judges are, we just say we cannot continue that along that line. And that's why the president is concerned that something must be done to lift our judges above where we put them now.
Absolutely.
They cannot, they need to have dignity.
Absolutely, Mr. Onanuga. That is critical, and to sustain the independence of the judiciary as an arm of government. Indeed. I'm afraid that's the much we'll be able to take on the program today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Onanuga. Thank you so much for talking to us. That is our program today. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosedi Adeniran Adiremi.